My Grandpa Sid is one of the strongest people I know. He has stared death into the eyes at least 2 times in the past couple of years, but somehow he still has fire and strong will. My grandpa was always known to be pretty ornery and rowdy at a young age, and he still is at the age of 77. Don't believe me? Well, one time when my grandparents were in high school and they were dating, my grandma decided to drive around with a different guy, and my grandpa thought it'd be a smart idea to punch this guy through his driver window. Well, this resulted in a broken hand, and the doctors also thought that they were going to have to amputate it. But my grandpa didn't care. He was just glad of the damage that he did to the other guy. Because of his broken hand, he was not able to fight in the war, so in reality, if he wouldn't have punched this guy through the window, I may not be here today. Fast forward 50 years, me and my family discovered some very devastating news. We found out that my grandpa was diagnosed with lung cancer and that if he didn't get it removed, he could possibly die. I can remember my grandma holding back the tears and trying to make it not sound as bad as it really was. But at a young age, I was so naive and I didn't quite understand how bad the situation really was. Luckily, the doctors were able to remove the mass and my grandpa started his recovery back to a normal life. That is, until COVID-19 hit. Now, some of you guys may disagree with me and say that COVID-19 doesn't exist, but for my family, it did. In my sophomore year of high school, I discovered that both of my grandparents got COVID-19 after they were in a car accident. My grandma only had the symptoms of tiredness, achiness, and no taste, but unfortunately for my grandpa, because of his prior medical conditions, COVID-19 took more of a toll on his body. He had to be in the hospital for 99 days, and I can remember watching him through the hospital window and talking to him on the phone, but he could barely talk because he couldn't catch his breath. But during this time that he was in the hospital, I remember him telling me that there was one point he told God he couldn't fight anymore and that it was in God's hands. He believes God sent his guardian angel down to watch over him because after that he started to gradually get better. He was finally able to come home on Christmas Eve, which was the best Christmas present that my family could have ever asked for. He still has to have oxygen tanks and tubes wherever he goes, but I am glad that he's here with me to take me hunting. As you can see, my grandpa is a fighter no matter the occasion. He's one of my main role models that I think of when I am facing hard decisions or hard situations. I cherish every moment and every teaching from him because I know that he is full of stories and full of wisdom.